And now to Iowa, where a state judge has blocked a heartbeat law just days after pro-life Governor Kim Reynolds signed it into law. Reynolds mentioned potential legal challenges to the pro-life law when she signed it last week.
As we gather here today at this very moment, the abortion industry is in the court trying to prevent this law from taking effect and stop, once again, the will of the people. But the passage of this legislation by even a wider margin this time sends an unmistakable message.
Abortion activists claim that protecting a child from abortion when you can hear their heartbeat is, quote, unconstitutional. For now, children are protected in Iowa at 20 weeks old while this court battle plays out. In the meantime, Iowans are already meeting the needs of moms and babies in their state. And joining us now is Sarah Jansen. She is program manager at a Women's Choice Center in Bettendorf, Iowa. Sarah, thanks for joining me. Start us off by telling us a little bit about your center, the story of how it came to be, and the resources that you all provide.
Wonderful. Thank you for having me. So Women's Choice Center is located in Bettendorf, Iowa. We're right on the border of Iowa and Illinois. So we serve two different states, which is a really unique space to be. So it's our 21st birthday this year. And so 21 years ago, when Planned Parenthood came to town, there was a group of believers that came together to create an alternative to Planned Parenthood services. And so we created our center right across the cul-de-sac from Planned Parenthood back 21 years ago. Recently, about 5 years ago, when Planned Parenthood closed after lots of prayer and petition, we purchased that building and have now redeemed it for life. So that's where we are now in Bettendorf, serving women in the Quad Cities in both Iowa and Illinois.
What a redemptive story indeed. And Sarah, what do expectant mothers who come to you need the most? I always like to ask resource centers this. Are they looking for tangible items like diapers, emotional support and guidance? And how do you kind of meet their utmost needs?
So we see all of those needs coming through our center. We have three main programs at the Women's Choice Center. And so our medical side serves those patients who are pregnant or believe that they're pregnant. And we provide the typical medical services there: pregnancy test, ultrasound, STD testing, all of that completely free to all of our patients. But we also see a lot of women who are conflicted about their pregnancy, as you know, and they're not sure what option they're going to choose. And so we provide a lot of education. We talk to them about all of their options and then give them the resources that they need to maybe overcome any of those barriers that are keeping them from continuing the pregnancy. On our resource side, our clients there are receiving free formula, diapers, clothing, baby materials. So that is a huge need in our community, especially after babies are born. We support them on the patient side and then continue to support them on the client side through our resource closet. But we also meet their emotional needs and educational needs through a counseling program that's available completely free for any patient or client, especially those who are post-abortive. And then we have an in-school education program where we teach 7th and 8th graders about the benefits of delaying sexual activity and the risks and consequences of early sexual activity, in hopes that they'll make wonderful choices for their life. And maybe we won't have to see them go through any sort of crisis later.
Yeah, that's a really important aspect of this battle. And could you talk to me a little bit more, Sarah, about the resources that are available for parents after their child is born when they're growing up in those first years?
Yeah, absolutely. So one of my favorite programs that we have is more of a referral-based program to some of our community organizations who are like-minded pro-life agencies who do continuing casework and parenting classes with our parents during the pregnancy as well as afterwards. And then, of course, those parents are able to come and receive all the resources from us. But we're able to partner with some wonderful agencies already established in the area who are like-minded, who continue on with them and provide that intensive in-home casework when those patients or clients need them.
Sounds like you're really filling all of the gaps. And I'm curious, Sarah, your state's pro-life law, it's unfortunately now in limbo, I'm sure you know. If the heartbeat law is reenacted, how do you hope your center will grow with that, stronger protection for unborn children in your state?
Well, as you have seen in the last few days, every day brings a new and different victory or challenge that we meet. And so
Right.
we are actively preparing for any direction that our state legislation may go. As I said before, we're a border state. And so we have to think about the Iowa legislation as well as the Illinois legislation because we see girls from both sides of the river there.
Right.
And so in Illinois, obviously, abortion is legal up until birth. And so we are very aware of that and providing the services that we do. So, our main thought with this heartbeat bill, we've already been preparing for it, knowing that this may come. We've been praying for it to come, and we have an amazing governor pushing for it to happen. And so, the main thing we have been concentrating on is that we expect to see a large increase in online medication abortions,
Mm.
where girls are going online to receive their medication as opposed to going to a clinic in their state. And so we are preparing for the education piece for our girls who may not know what that looks like, may not know what medical follow up there is or is not. Usually, there is not a lot of medical follow up, and how dangerous that can be to be ordering medication online. So, we're changing some of our education pieces, but we've also added a service called the post abortion assessment. And the reason for that is when a woman chooses abortion, we want to make sure she still feels loved and supported. Even though we grieve the loss of that baby, there's still a life here on earth in that mother. And she's going to be going through a lot of things that she may or may not have expected. And so we've added a service called the post abortion assessment, where we bring her in, give her some medical services, as well as some emotional assessment and services, as well as referrals if needed, so that she's getting that follow up care that is usually lacking
Mm.
when she goes through an online medication abortion at home.
It's very innovative. Thank you for sharing about that, and thank you for joining us so much. Sarah Jansen, Women's Center of Iowa.